when I turned 16, I started working at a shoe store called Fluvog, which was managed by Susan Silver. And she was managing Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Screaming Trees, I think Blood Circus, Skin Yard. She had a roster of great bands. And I think she even managed Malfunction. So when I first met Andy, he came in. Seattle's a city where you can flyer telephone poles, right? So you have all those kind of old, cool rock and roll flyers. So every band would come in and pick those up because Susan would print them out. She ran her office out of the back of a shoe store. So that's how I met all the bands. That's how I met all the singers. Cool. That's how I first met Lane and Andy and all those guys. Yeah, so it was kind of a great experience for me as a 16-year-old to sit around and chat with these guys that I looked up to as kind of inspiration and influence and big brothers, if you will.
Welcome. We are Neil,
Luke, and Dave.
340-somethings reminiscing on the runners and riders of 90s guitar music.
We look at the bands who soundtracked our youth on both sides of the pond and interview some of our heroes from the bands that defined a generation.
You'll hear about the good, the bad, and the ugly of 90s guitar music.
This podcast is Stupid and Contagious. Episode 126, the Stupid and Contagious podcast. First episode proper of 2026. Happy New Year to everyone.
You could say the first
we got
normal
Kevin
episode.
Martin on from That's what I said.
No, you said the first proper episode, which is a bit demeaning.
Episode
It's quite
proper.
insulting, actually, to our listeners, to be honest. Yeah, you basically said fuck you to our listeners.
Well, I
And
was
Luke.
about to pick up that episode, actually, but maybe I won't now.
Oh, shit.
But anyway, we're talking to Kevin from Candlebox later. That's a good one. That's coming up. A rare solo interview for me, so enjoy it.
Very well it was done too.
I've spent most of the week listening to your you and our listeners having your
It
chat
took that
about
long
the,
to listen through.
But I haven't finished yet.
No one
I'm
has.
doing it in bits. But it's bloody brilliant. I'm really enjoying it. It's just
it's
nice
good,
hearing people talk passionately about music, isn't it? It's really nice.
That's it.
And they all know what
Yeah.
they're talking about, all talking about different types of music. No, but I've found some new music through it, new old music.
Oh, man.
It's been
Me
great.
too. Absolutely love
Which one
doing
is
it.
going to take my place?
What's not to like, Talking.
No one
No
can
one.
take your place, Dave.
Irreplaceable.
Oh, come on, one of them must.
No one wants it.
No, can't get out of it that easily.
Dave, have you had a listen to it?
I haven't yet. I haven't been able to yet, but I'm going to right after this.
What do you
Right.
mean? What stopped you? Why couldn't you?
I've had an ear infection. Couldn't listen to anything.
That's quite a good excuse.
I wasn't able to put any headphones
That's
in.
bullshit. Is that true?
Yeah.
No.
Don't think it is.
Fucking hell. Good
But
one,
no,
though.
really good. It's becoming like one of the highlights of the year, isn't it? And
Ah,
it's
it is
the,
for me. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
take
it's
no
good.
credit for it. It's all the guys, man. Cool, people
like that.
talking.
I mean, you've
You know
got
their shit,
Dave's
man.
end of year quiz, and that sort of comes and goes, and then we're all ready for this for the big one.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to do
Right.
something
Yeah.
about the quiz. It's the
Yeah, it's
ratings are
good. No, I've
terrible.
re-
I've got to do something
On
about that. The quiz, no one ever listened.
They
Maybe it
do.
should
They
just be
love
a
it.
They do have it.
maybe it should be a music quiz rather than a quiz about the podcast.
It should be a bit more of a mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I enjoyed it this year. What else has been going on, Luke? What's been going on?
Since I saw you this morning,
Yeah.
had a haircut. Went to the gym twice.
Oh, yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Twice.
How have you been to the gym twice?
Well, it's the thing. I went to the gym, like you go to the gym because it was early morning, right? And Neil had got me up early to do an interview. Well, I got up early to do an interview. And so I went to the gym and then had to go later on to do the laundry because it's so cold over here. My gym's got a laundry in it.
What?
Oh,
What do you mean?
It's got a washer and dryer. You have to book
In the
it.
gym?
In the gym.
Right.
And it's got teeth whitening and it's got hair removal and like a work desk, a workspace. I did work for a couple of hours while I was waiting for the drying.
Did you get all your hair removed?
Photo booth. I didn't. No, not from your head. It's like, people do like their arms and
Yeah, I
legs and
know.
shit.
I know what
Yeah.
you mean. That's what I'm saying. Did you get all your balls done and stuff?
I should have done the balls. No, next time. I had enough time as well. Next time, I will.
I'll tell you something disgusting about the laundry. They've put one up in the
Go on.
street in Seaford. It's the most
I
disgusting
saw that.
thing
Yeah,
I've ever
it's a bit
seen.
tacky,
What
isn't
do you
it?
mean?
It's horrible. It's
What
like
do you mean
like
they've put
a
one
laundrette.
up?
put some
Put
washing
what up?
machines. Washing
Like a-
machines, they're just on the street.
They just stuck some in the wall.
It's like people
Where
used to
Bonds
put in
used
their
to be.
front
Where
garden.
Bonds
Yes.
used to be, they've just chucked up a fucking washing machine in the wall.
But,
There's
you know,
going to
it's
be
for
a couple
public
of
use.
like cortinas and shit. And all right,
Yeah, no, it's a proper one.
Who said that was a good idea?
put them in the
I
gym.
don't know
I
who
say.
it's supposed to be. I don't know why there's the sudden need for a laundrette there, but there is one.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
saw that as well.
Ah, really
Weird.
makes the
Yeah.
place look terrible, even worse.
I'm
than
going
it
back
did.
to the best of
Yeah.
going back to the best of 2025 thing. Yeah, it was. I got some. I done a bit of research, listened to some new stuff.
What
It's
did you
very
What did you
unlikely.
enjoy? I found some great stuff I like as well. What did you enjoy?
I can't remember.
Great. Glad you went back to it for that. You know,
I should have waited some notes.
you were even looking at your screen like you'd made notes and shit.
That was
I
his
forgot
notes.
to do that bit.
Yeah.
But no, I
Yeah.
definitely
Blank
did go and
sheet.
have a listen to some new stuff. I gave Slow Dive a good listen because I sort of
Ah.
dipped in and out of them in the past. Their new stuff, I think, is better than their older stuff.
It's what
The new
people
stuff's
say.
really good.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's a bit cleaner than new sound, but it's good. It's good.
But no, there's a few things I went and had a list. Obviously, some of the more obscure stuff I haven't bothered
Completely
with yet. I
ignored.
might do
No.
at some point.
No,
Yeah, but
you
you
won't.
know, I know my limits.
Sure.
I know my
sure.
limits.
Yeah.
No, it's great. No, I was just like even the stuff I'm not that interested in. I still like hearing people talk about it. You know, it's just
Yeah.
I just enjoyed it.
Good,
I go
man.
for a walk
Me
on
too.
the beach here and listen to it. It's good.
Good to hear.
Dave, anything else? What's been going on?
You survived your ski trip.
Oh, yeah, I got quite ill on the first day. It was really annoying. I've been training for months to get ready for this
Mm.
trip, and then I got flu,
That's
like
right.
the actual flu.
Yeah, you have.
So I missed a day and a half.
You have been training for months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I was so depressed.
You got on the slopes in the end, though, did you?
Yeah, I got some decent drugs. I was able to go, but then I was utterly
Yeah.
shattered
Right.
when afterwards. So I just
Fucking
didn't do
heroin,
anything
innit?
except sleep and skied a bit.
There you
But
go.
No
I did
après
learn.
Sounds right.
ski.
Yeah, I couldn't do après ski. I was too ill.
What did you learn?
Well, at the start, I was just terrified, like facing a slope, like freezing and with fear. But by the end of
That's
it,
me. That's me.
I overcame
Yeah.
it and I was able to ski and actually enjoy it.
Did you
Huh.
do any jumps? Were you like Eddie the Eagle by the end of it?
No, I haven't got onto jumps yet,
Right.
except
do the
one I did by
slalom?
mistake.
Can you do the slalom?
No, well, I can go
How high
Can
did
you?
you
bend
jump?
around a few centimetres.
That's good. Huh? Well, that sounds good though. Over Christmas, goes a bit skiing. It's all right, isn't it?
Mm.
You were in Lanzarote, Neil. How was it?
Well, it's warm. It's a bit windy, but I can't really complain because it's freezing in England. So it's not.
Have you got
cold,
snow
it's
over there,
just-
Dave?
We've had a few flakes, not much.
I don't mind
All
snow
right.
though. Don't mind when it snows because then there's a point to it, and there's a point to the cold when it snows. When there's no snow,
Yeah.
there's just no point to the cold. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like I say, it's a bit changeable over here, but it's still you can still wear shorts and a t-shirt in the day, so it's
Right,
good.
isn't
Isn't it? Internet's better out here as well, so getting some
Okay.
work done. That's good. Home from home, isn't it?
Sure.
Second home. Lucky in that respect. All right, so let's get on to this week's episode with Kevin from Candlebox. Let's do it, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So if you are watching this, then please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Get involved in the comments. Let us know your favourite Candlebox tracks, gigs, all that sort of stuff. If you're listening, please do rate, review it, and share it with your friends. Keep sharing it. Got a good few listeners over the Christmas, New Year period, so that's good. If you're new, welcome. You can sponsor the podcast, Stupid and Contagious Podcast at gmail.com. And you can buy our merch, T-shirts, mugs. We got it all. Well, we've just got that. Go to our shop. Yeah, and
How many
order
have you sold
those.
so far now?
Help us out. Millions.
Yeah, I see lots of people with our t-shirts on in the street
Everywhere. I know.
Everywhere.
and
I know.
on telly.
Well, we sold a few, but, you know, we could... we could do with selling more. Helps the podcast keep going. Dave's got one now.
Cool.
He said, I'm not wearing one of those to start off with, and then he couldn't get enough of it.
There you go.
Begged me
Mine
for
arrived on Christmas Eve.
Quite a nice, good quality.
They're
isn't
nice.
it?
They're nice T-shirts.
Yeah, they're not shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice tees. No, and the mug. You got your mug as well, didn't you? Happy Christmas. You got a mug and a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's even in the premium mug cupboard. We've got the main mug cupboard, and then we've got the
There you
the
go. It's in
crappy
his
mug
premium
cupboard.
mug cupboard already.
It's in the premium one.
Right, ain't it there?
Oh,
There you go.
I hope it stays there.
Dave, do you want to talk about All Giggly quickly? Explain to people what it is. It's basically where the app lives now. Right?
Yeah, but it's just on the web. But you can still go to it on your phone, and it's at allgiggly.com/Stupid and Contagious podcast. Yeah, I hope there's some value in it, but also it's a good way for me to create an example app on All Giggly.
Yeah, because Dave, this is basically Dave's last chance of becoming a millionaire, which he's craved all his life. So
yeah, it really is last chance.
Sure.
Saloon.
Yeah, no, it's good. Genuinely is good. It's a really easy way to go between like our videos and the playlist and all that sort of thing. So definitely check it out. Yeah, and I think there's a little quiz on there as well, isn't there, that people can do.
Yeah, and I don't know, you guys are busy, but if you wanted to do like a blog or any other content for the podcast, we could put it on there.
Fuck off. Oh, well, maybe though. Maybe Luke likes
Luke writes, doesn't he?
Maybe
Maybe he could publish some stuff on there.
Yeah. He's a published author. You both are.
No,
Stick a chapter of him on there.
Just a taster.
I'm a prolific songwriter.
Yeah, very prolific.
I got my CDs in from the shed because Alice has started listening to them.
CDs?
And what did I find in the CD?
They're all fucked, aren't they?
No.
Go on.
Main Street?
Give us a hint.
A Main Street. I
there
binned
we
it.
go.
Yeah.
I binned
Everyone
it.
should have a copy.
It was in there.
Yeah, straight in there. Yeah.
They're all fucked, aren't they? Have they been in the shed?
CDs, they never just get destroyed, do they? That was the claim.
Indestructible, aren't they? That's what they said when they came out, yeah.
And then they instantly got scratched and jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Useless format, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think it will make a comeback. But no, if it will, who knows?
Oh, apparently they are. That's the big news at the end of last year.
making a comeback.
CDs are back. Yeah.
Right.
All the kids are getting
Okay.
CD players.
Why?
Don't know.
But it's the worst of all worlds, isn't it, CDs? Like,
I think one good
What's
thing
good
is
about it?
there's loads of them lying around in people's homes.
right.
So,
yeah.
They're cheap as
Yeah.
chips, in
So
charity shops.
everyone's
I've got
doing
mine,
what I've
what I
done.
did with mine, because I couldn't justify keeping all the just big boxes of all the. So what I did is I got rid of all the cases and just kept
Yeah, a lot of
the
people
actual
did that,
CDs
yeah.
on a spool.
Yeah.
I've got
Big
them all
mistake.
somewhere. Yeah.
Mm.
The cases
Yeah.
are good.
What, getting rid of the
Yeah.
cases?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they take up a lot of space, don't they? And they were redundant at the time. I didn't think they'd be making a comeback. So, never mind.
Candlebox. So, today's guest, basically 4 people at the start. Today's guest, Kevin Martin, a guy called Peter Klett, Bardi Martin, no relation to Kevin.
Hang on.
And
I haven't
Scott
done my
Mercado.
Wikipedia thing.
Oh, fuck, gone in.
It's an American rock band from Seattle, Washington.
It is indeed. So, formed by Kevin, although he started out as a drummer, which he mentions in the interview, and Scott Mercado, they went under the name Uncle Duke, and I think they were a bit punkier than the Candlebox became. Well, fairly long story, but basically recruited Bardi and Peter, changed their name to Candlebox, named after a Midnight Oil song, Tin Legs and Tin Minds. It's the name of the song. Didn't know it. I only know Beds Are Burning. It's the only Midnight Oil
mate,
song
you've
that
got.
I know.
I was going to talk about this later. You've got to check some Midnight Oil out. I don't know if you. They're very political. I think you might quite like it.
Sure.
He became a
Are they
politician in the
Australian?
end, and now I think he's back doing music. But he became a. Yeah.
That's right, mate.
G'day, mate. Stick a shrimp on the barbie.
Keep going.
Hey, I've been to Australia. I should be better at it.
You can't put
You're
a
allowed
shrimp
to
on a
then. You're
barbie
allowed
anyway. It'll fall through the grate.
That's what they do, man.
They must be
No.
massive
No,
Oil,
ones.
shrimps
isn't
are
it?
not so small. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
proper
why
shrimps
shrimp is
are
like
about that
a
big,
euphemism
aren't
for
they?
small when they're not, they're not that big, no. Yeah, calling people a shrimp, they're not that small, are they, shrimps?
You're a fucking shrimp.
Thanks. That means I'm like a normal size.
No, but in
No one
British,
ever calls people shrimps.
in
They
British
used to.
English,
In the
British
90s, they
English,
did.
shrimp is tiny.
I got called a shrimp a lot.
You didn't.
Yeah. Dave, did you ever get called a shrimp
No, but I got called stunted earlier by Neil.
by Neil? Yeah.
Yeah, I did call him that.
So they recorded a demo which got them signed to Maverick, which was Madonna's label. One of the first bands, and the very first kind of, at least successful band to sign to the label. Put out their first album, self-titled, in July 93. They had a single out from it, Change, first of all, did okay. They had a second single from it, You, did better, building up. But the third single, Far Behind, was the big one. So they actually, although their album was released in July 93, it didn't get into the charts until August 94, a whole year
Bloody hell.
after it was released.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a while, isn't it?
It's a
But it's
while.
not that long, really, is it?
Yeah, by today's standard it is, but they built that up through those three singles, right? And yeah, Far Behind was a massive rock radio hit. Do you know what it's about, Neil? I'm surprised he didn't mention it because it come up in the interview.
What's it called?
I did it.
Well, the topic came up. It's called
but he didn't.
Far Behind.
Is it about a running race?
he just can't catch up. Yeah.
It's like a juvenile comment to make from me.
That's good.
Sorry.
Shocking.
No, it's a tribute to Andrew Wood from Mother Love Bone and Now Funk.
Oh, man, I should have known. Now I'd look like a fucking idiot. You've made me look like an idiot already.
How would you know it? There's nothing obvious that says
Well,
that.
you know
unless
it.
you know. Well, because I read up on shit.
So did I.
Well, he says, like, maybe I didn't mean to treat you bad. That's like the main refrain. Apparently, the original lyric was Andy, I didn't mean to treat you bad, instead of maybe.
Oh, man. I didn't realise. I don't think many people would know that. That's a really interesting
go.
fact.
Once that kicked off, the album went stratospheric, quadruple platinum. So 4 million sold, fucking a lot.
Yeah,
lot
that's
of
a lot.
records. It is a lot.
I didn't realise it had sold that many. I knew, obviously I know about them. I didn't realise it was, that's a shitload of records, isn't it?
It is a shitload of records. Yeah. But think about the timeline. So it hit the charts in August 94. Kurt had died in a couple of months previously to that. So they were very much seen as post-grunge when, of course, they were making music since 1990, right? So they were making music.
Yeah.
They were grunge, but they were seen as post-grunge. Yeah. So yeah, the success, they toured with loads of people. You talk about it in the interview. Played with Rush, Metallica, Offspring, Aerosmith, Flaming Lips, Living Colour, etc., etc. Yeah, basically went massive. Second album came out, Interstellar.
Oh, got it wrong.
Close enough, though. Close enough. Second album came out in 1995 called Lucy. You can hear what Kevin thinks about the album when you listen to the interview.
Yeah.
He does not great, I think was the words he used.
What do you think of it?
Yeah, it's interesting. Should we talk about it now or after?
Talk about it after.
Let's talk about it after. Okay. But a couple of
Dave, we'll tell you after.
Couple of singles from it, Simple Lessons, which he said he does like, Understanding. Considering the previous one went quadruple platinum, it went gold. Like 500,000 or something like that. So,
that's all right, though, isn't it?
It's a lot. Yeah. They toured with the Foo Fighters and stuff after that, but as he points out in the interview, they never toured with any of the other big grunge bands.
Yeah.
And basically by now the backlash had come pretty fucking quick from, well, he says, from the scene, from the music press, from the critics, and most notably from Courtney Love, who fucking hated them.
Yeah. She hated a lot of people, though, didn't she?
She did hate a lot of people, but she especially hated Candlebox. She claimed that they were kind of riding on Kurt's coattails, and she described them as kind of gay.
That's bullshit.
What does that mean?
It had nothing to do with grunge at all.
All right, Dave. Don't spoil the interview.
Well, what do you think? I mean, did they? Well, they were from Seattle. It was the early 90s. They had long hair, wore flannel shirts, and played.
Well, this is what I was,
guitar.
Dave. This is what I was saying. If you go and listen to them, they're very much sort of Mother Love Bone-esque.
They're heavier than you think they're going to be.
Yeah. They're quite. Yeah. That's what I would say. They do sound a lot like Mother Love Bone. They were banging that scene, really.
And they did get their own back on Courtney. They did a photo shoot for a Seattle magazine with all the band members dressed up as Courtney Love in blonde wigs and white baby doll dresses.
They definitely looked the part. They didn't look out of place in the Seattle scene.
With the headline, "The Boys with the Most Cake." It's quite good, isn't it? Yeah.
What do you think of Courtney Love?
What do we think of Courtney Love? I don't really know. I haven't really got an opinion on her, really. I'm not sure.
Well, there's another interview coming up in the future with similar stories of Courtney basically slagging people off and causing trouble. So she seems a bit.
I think she was a bit like, but I'm not sure what she's like now. But then, she's on a lot of drugs and stuff at the time. She's just probably a bit chaotic.
I guess so, but even in that same thing, like that stuff that she talked about Candlebox. It's in there's a book, Everyone Loves Our Town. It's like about Seattle, and in that same one, so she was slagging off Alanis Morissette, who are on the same label as Candlebox, claiming that Alanis is just doing like a cleaned up version of what she'd been doing for years. Which is just complete fucking nonsense. There's no way Courtney Love could have written, exactly.
It sounds like she's got a lot of paranoia going on. She's worried that everyone's trying to sound like either Nirvana or Hull.
Yeah.
Who cares if they are?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, there's room for everyone, right? There's room for everyone.
But I don't know. I don't know what she's like these days.
I don't think she's any mellower. I don't think so.
No, I think she went she did the whole acting thing, but I think she's now gone back to being a bit sort of controversial. I don't know.
Yeah, good. That's good. Why not? You need someone like that, right? It's good, man. It's good. So, band carried on. In 97, Scott, the drummer, left, replaced by Dave Cruzen, who was the original Pearl Jam drummer, if you remember from the Dave Bruce episode. Third album came out in 1998. Happy Pills, again, didn't quite match the sales of even the predecessor, Lucy, but it's probably a better album. And 1999, Cruzen left, replaced by guy from Ugly Kid Joe, drummer from Ugly Kid Joe, Shannon Larkin. Okay. And then other band members left, basically, and they basically called it a day in 2000. And the main reason, he talks about it in the interview, was basically to get out of their record contract. So basically broke up the band in order to get out of the contract. But
that wasn't it, though, was it?
It wasn't it, no. They got back together in 2006. First of all, mainly just because they were bringing out like a best-of compilation, so they just got together to promote that and ended up basically staying together. And since then, they've released 5 albums. Into the Sun in 2008, Love Stories and Other Musings 2012, Disappearing in Airports 2016, Wolves in 2021, and their final album, The Long Goodbye, in 2023. Or is it? Tune in to the interview in a second to find out.
So let's have a listen to the interview and you find out all about Candlebox via Kevin Martin. Enjoy. Kevin, thanks so much for coming on. We've been trying to get this to happen for a while.
Been a bit.
Different time zones, isn't it? Busy people.
Yeah.
It's all good. So you're in LA at the moment, is that right? Is that where home is at the moment, is it?
Yeah, I've been in Los Angeles since 1998. So I left Seattle, moved down here with my ex-wife, and that's why she's my ex-wife, and I'm stuck here. So.
Okay. Do you like it there? LA, it's all right, isn't it?
LA's all right. I mean, it's it has it has its moments. It has certainly you can't beat the weather. Look, it's gorgeous out. It's December.
Yeah, that's right.
There's also 14 million people in LA County that drive you nuts, and they're all trying to get to the somewhere at the same time. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but there are things about it. I love it. Great food here.
That's good, man. Candlebox touring in 2026, aren't you? Are you getting ready for that, or?
Yeah, we have rehearsals starting in February. We're only doing like a short spring run,
Yeah.
Pete and I are working on a new record. So that spring run will be, short and sweet, but we're working on a big summer thing and a fall tour. We're also doing South America. I think we're working on Europe for 27, depending on how the record does, all that sort of stuff. Keep ourselves busy.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you got any European dates sorted, because, we haven't been over for a while. When was the last time Candlebox were over in Europe? Been a while now, hasn't
it? 2019.
Yeah. Pre-COVID.
Yeah, too long ago, for sure.
So are you guys all dotted around the country now, or are you all sort of based in a similar area? Is it easy to meet up and rehearse and stuff?
Yeah, no, there's 3 of us in LA, and two on the East Coast. Pete's in Tampa and BJ's in Baltimore. So we always meet in Nashville for rehearsals. Our rehearsal studio and storage space is there. So we're always kind of doing that. My wife's calling me, which is funny. We were speaking about her. But yeah, we're kind of all over the place. It's good. It's cool. It's easy, Nashville, for everybody. So
yeah. What's touring like these days compared to back in the 90s? Is it still similar sort of vibe, or is it different altogether?
it's a hell of a lot harder. It's a hell of a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Certainly with socials and social media and stuff, it's difficult because there are expectations. I think that fans have of the bands. Back in the day, Candlebox was the most faceless rock and roll band out of Seattle.
Right.
So it was easy to play a show and go out and watch the opening band, and nobody knew who we were.
Right.
Now your face is all over everything, and people can reach out and say, "Oh, my uncle's a huge fan, and I met you guys through this person, and you're not coming to my town. Why not? And that kind of stuff is like, well, we're not coming to your town because we hate you. I think those are funny memes people put out there, but everybody asks that, and it's like, you live in a tiny little town, in the middle of Iowa. Nobody goes there because it's the most difficult place to get to, and it's incredibly expensive to get there. And it's not that we don't want to; we would love to if we could afford to hit 70,000 cities, in the United States in one year. We would, but the odds are stacked against you. But other than that, it's really just the expense of being a touring band. It is so financially unbalanced now. Buses that are a tour bus, for example. If you're in a 2010 tour bus, okay, let's say that's 15 years old, right? A 15-year-old tour bus that probably hasn't been very well taken care of or upgraded or anything like that.
Right. Yeah.
Should be about $500 a day. But what you end up paying is about $1,500 a day for that bus. That doesn't include the driver. That doesn't include the fuel. So you're looking at a bus that's 15 years old that's going to cost you $2,200 a day. Cost of hotels, $350 a night, taxes, insurance. It's my daily nut to tour is $22,000. That's a day what I have to pay to tour.
That's nuts, isn't it? You've got to sell a lot of T-shirts to recoup that, haven't you?
Tons. And the merchandise isn't cheap. To print a shirt. Print a shirt is about $12 to $15. That's why T-shirts at shows are $40 and $50 and $60 because you've got. It's like retail markup. You've got to make the 100% markup. It's really just, and it's not going to get any easier as long as Trump's in office with tariffs.
Mate, it's the same over here. It's just shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get back to the
you
90s.
guys. Your taxes are killing you in the UK and shit. It's like
it's pretty bad. Yeah. Let's go back to an easier time, the 90s. Let's just go back to the beginning. So you grew up in Seattle, right? That's where
I moved there. I moved there when I was 14 from San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, cool. So what sort of music were you listening to at the time?
Mainly punk. I was fortunate enough. I had an older sister who listened to the Cars and the Clash, and introduced me very, very early to that kind of movement. I was still listening to Kiss and stuff like that as a young kid, but I was drawn towards. I was also the baby in the family, so there's a lot of teasing and bullying from my older brothers, and And so I liked the element of disconnect, and I liked the anarchist attack of government. I've always kind of been against big government. I've always kind of been against oppression and stuff like that. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe it is being that I was, the baby of the family, and we moved around a lot, so I had to make friends a lot as a young kid in cities that I didn't really know anybody. So punk rock made me feel connected to a community that was disconnected and kind of the outlaws, if you will. And so my first concert was Dead Kennedys, Butthole Surfers, and Black Flag in San Antonio, Texas, and that really kind of was my main influence. And so I listened to a lot of early British punk, American punk, of course, West Coast, East Coast, Texas. One of my favorite bands is a band called Fearless Iranians from Hell out of San Antonio, Texas. And of course, the Big Boys, Flipper, Butthole Surfer, all of that. So that was what I was listening to. So when I moved to Seattle, there was a similar music scene, but it was a little bit dirgier and dark. Of course, with bands like Bam Bam and Soundgarden when they first started, I was listening to them. And then I was introduced to the Screaming Trees and Alice in Chains, and the list goes on and on and on. So that was kind of the music that I felt most close to. And also there was a great movement of Australian rock and roll that I was really into. The Hoodoo Gurus is one of my favorite bands. Midnight Oil, of course, who I named Candlebox after.
Love a bit of Midnight Oil. Great.
Yeah, great band. So I kind of, again, bands that have something politically to say is kind of always been my my go-to.
Yeah. So you say when you were in Seattle, were you going and watching Soundgarden and that, or were you already formed Candlebox by then, or?
No. Candlebox didn't. I'm about 5 years younger than most of the most of the guys. So when I moved there, I was 14. That was in '84, and Soundgarden had just. I saw them when the first time I saw them. Chris was still playing drums, and then right after that, Matt Cameron joined, and Chris became the singer. So I saw a lot of that. There was a great metal, thrash metal scene in Seattle. So I saw bands like Mace. God, man, I'm going to forget all these bands.
It's all right.
There was a great movement there, and it was lucky to be a 14-year-old to move there in 1984 and kind of experience that.
Yeah, did you get to see Mother Love Bone, or was that on your radar? Or
I saw Love Bone twice. I also saw Malfunction a ton. Yeah, Andy was my favorite singer. Yeah,
he was phenomenal, right? What a lost talent! What could have been with him?
I mean, it's. I think about it all the time. Would they be as big as Pearl Jam?
Yeah,
probably not.
No,
but they would have been an arena rock band for sure. I mean, Andy was just so talented. He could write. He could write a song about a paper napkin that made you think that you had to own it and it was going to look great on you. I mean, he just had a way of. He was kind of the Freddie Mercury of the Seattle music scene.
Yeah, he had this. Obviously, I'd never met him, but I've seen interviews with him. He's just got that charisma, hasn't he? It's just he oozes it, or oozed it.
He was a rock star. Yeah, he was a rock star. Walking down the street, coming into the shoe store that I worked in. He was wearing a fur coat, or he's wearing a basketball uniform and Reebok punks. And, just a character. Yeah.
So you actually saw him out and about in Seattle at the time.
Yeah, well, I was working at a shoe store when I turned 16. I started working at a shoe store called Fluvog, which was managed by Susan Silver, and she was managing Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Screaming Trees, I think Blood Circus, Skin Yard. She had a roster of great bands, and I think she even managed Malfunction. So when I first met Andy, he came in. Seattle's a city where you can flyer telephone poles, right? So you have all those kind of old cool rock and roll flyers. So every band would come in and pick those up because Susan would print them out. She ran her office out of the back of a shoe store. So that's how I met all the bands. That's how I met all the singers. That's cool. That's how I first met Lane and Andy and all those guys. Yeah, so it was kind of a great experience for me as a 16-year-old to sit around and chat with these guys that I looked up to as kind of inspiration and influence and big brothers, if you will.
What were they like? Were they all right?
All of them were lovely guys. I mean, if they weren't, I mean, you never saw them. They didn't pop in the store when they were on heroin. You didn't see them for Then when they were clean, they'd pop in and they were, hey man, how's it going? I'm here to pick up the flyers. And that's how Andy always kind of floated in, he was, hey buddy, how are you? What's going on, man? And shit like that. And just, it was cool. It was very cool.
So it's a real sort of shock to the whole community when he died. Obviously, did that sort of affect everyone there?
Yeah. I mean, it made the city take a big, deep breath and a real hard look at itself, but it didn't stop it. I mean,
No,
that was
absolutely not.
It was a sad ongoing thing. But it certainly made everybody take a look at themselves and really the musical community. I think that's kind of when Sub Pop started to take better care of their artists and kind of check in on them, if you will.
Yeah. So is this when you sort of had the idea to start the whole Candlebox thing when you were working in the shoe shop, or?
Well, I was actually I was playing drums in a punk band, so I wasn't.
Right. Okay. So
I wasn't interested in being a singer. I was more. I wanted to, kind of do that, and I wasn't until I saw Midnight Oil on my 18th birthday that I realized that I wanted to be a singer in a rock band.
Yeah.
And I had also seen The Cult, and Ian Astbury was a huge, huge inspiration. So all of a sudden, I'm well, I kind of want to do that. And I'd sung in choir from, I think, grade 1 to my senior year. I mean, you always needed an elective, and there were always kind of cute girls in choir, so that was kind of a good class for me to take. So, singing in that kind of gave me the ability to do what I do, but I hadn't really considered it until I saw that show. And I was approached by my drummer at the time, my drummer from Candlebox, Scott Mercado. He wasn't my drummer at the time. He was playing with this guy named Rick Vaughn. And Rick was an engineer at Reciprocal Recording, and they had this thing they were doing. And Scott was like, hey, would you come sing on this? I've heard you sing before. And I was like, I'm not really sure. It was kind of a blues-based sort of Black Crowes kind of rock and roll thing, which was interesting. Rick was a great guitar player, but it wasn't really kind of where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
But I ended up doing it, and that kind of was called Uncle Duke. And then shortly after that, Rick left, and we were introduced to Peter by Kelly Gray, who Scott had grown up with and played in a band called Myth with, which was a kind of a Jeff Tate metal band. I think Jeff was their singer. And Pete joined the band, and we started writing, and shortly thereafter, we became Candlebox. So that was really Pete started in 1990 with us, and then in 91 is when Barty joined, and we became Candlebox that fall. We recorded our cassette tape Easter Sunday of 92, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah. So were you sort of hanging out with all the other grunge bands? What was the scene like? Was it quite communal, or was it more chaotic, or what was it sort of like in Seattle at the time?
No, we weren't really allowed. All of us were under 21, and in Seattle you couldn't play a bar unless you were 21.
Yeah.
So we played a lot of house parties, friends' house parties and stuff. The only place I would see them, like if I was if I happened to pop to a party in the U District or something, like I would run into Lane there or Jerry, or we did rehearse next to Alice in Chains for quite a while. In this band, I was playing in this kind of European pop band, kind of sounded like Roxy Music mixed with the Blow Monkeys. That was called Social Smash.
Yeah.
We rehearsed right next door to Alice in Chains. Sean Kinney would come over every now and then. Hey man, you got your drumsticks? I'm like, dude, I play a 7A, you play a 5B. But that was really kind of rare that we would hang out in rehearsal. So it was occasionally I'd run into him at parties, but we were kind of the redheaded stepchild, even of the scene that we were involved with, which would have been Sweetwater and Green Apple Quickstep and Satchel and those kinds of bands, even Truly, another band that was Hiro Yamamoto from Soundgarden's band. We kind of hung out, but not really. We were Candlebox was like kind of the journey of the Seattle music scene, where we had kind of this arena rock, blues-based Led Zeppelin kind of thing happening. Whereas every other band was, Sweetwater was kind of glam rock. They were more along the lines of Mother Love Bone. Green Apple was very much, kind of Jane's Addiction punk. Yes, and there was a band called Easy, which they were really good. That's the Friel brothers, who used to be in Shadow with Mike McCready. And yeah, that was a good band. Easy was a really good band. They were kind of doing what we were doing, but never really found their footing. I don't know why. Great band though.
Yeah. So did you have a clear idea of the sound you wanted from Candlebox at the start, or did it kind of just evolve as you got the band together?
It evolved with Pete and Barty. With
Right.
Scott and I and Rick, again, it was really kind of that Southern Screaming Cheetah Willies kind of Black Crowes rock, which I just
Yeah.
wasn't loving. And when Pete came in, he brought, Pete's favorite guitar players are David Gilmour and Michael Schenker.
Right.
And so
Okay.
he
Yeah.
brought a sense of melody and guitar playing
Yeah.
that I think was lacking in the Seattle music scene at the time. Because we, Candlebox didn't really sound like any band from that city, and we still don't really. I mean,
Yeah, I was going
it's
to
kind of
say,
strange.
was there a pushback against the band because of that, or not really?
Oh no, there was.
What it was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we've never toured with Pearl Jam. We've never toured with Soundgarden. We never toured with Alice in Chains. We opened up for Sweetwater. When Candlebox blew up, we brought Sweetwater out on the road. But
Yeah.
no, we were there was a major kind of backlash towards us from the Seattle music because they're like, who the fuck are these kids? Where'd they come from?
From
We've
the
never even heard of them.
Yeah, from the bands or from the fans or a bit of both? Or,
Just the bands.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Seattle was a very high school scene. It was very cliquey. If you
Yeah.
were not on varsity football, you weren't going to hang out with the varsity football players.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means anything to you over there, but
Yeah. I got what you're saying. Yeah.
if you're not Manchester United, you're not hanging
Yeah.
out with Manchester United.
So you say, I guess you had to get your fan base sort of independently, just from playing gigs, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's really kind of how it grew. And then when we opened up for Sweetwater, they were always playing sold out shows. We kind of earned a lot of their fans and won their fans over. So yeah, it worked out in the long run. But it was a difficult kind of 2 years of trying to play gigs. Trying to find somebody to let us fucking open. Whatever.
Yeah, it must be difficult because all those bands all the grunge bands are kind of. I do that with inverted commas. I don't know how do you feel about the whole grunge term? I don't mind it myself, but I know a lot of people are not very fond of it.
Well, I mean, it's you got to name a movement some way, shape, or form, and you couldn't just continue to call it the Seattle sound because there were so many bands that were doing it. I mean,
yeah.
I think it was made popular in Seattle, but there certainly was a grunge movement happening in Chicago. There was a grunge movement happening out of Texas. There was that if that's the sound you want to call it. I mean, there were bands that were producing that all over the world. It just happened to be that Seattle was so focused on that they needed a term for it. I would have just called it dirge, but that's not really what it is. It is grungy. It was grungy. I mean, we wore
the whole grunge.
Yeah, I mean, we wore flannels and long johns because it was cold and wet out. So that's kind of where that term came from, and it fit. But I mean, Candlebox was never grunge. We were always mainstream rock or arena rock.
But
I love all those bands, by the way. Melvins and Green River and shit. That's my favorite music.
Yeah. So how did the whole Candlebox sound, like you say, evolved when other members joined? But obviously you were happy with the sound that you were making.
Yeah, very.
Didn't mind that it wasn't fitting in with the grunge scene at the time.
No, I mean, I loved it. I mean, I'm a huge Led Zeppelin fan. I mean, I was always a huge Aerosmith fan. And I always loved Journey. I thought Journey was a brilliant melodic rock and roll band. Steve Perry's voice is incredible. And also being a drummer, I really loved the way Steve Smith played drums for Journey. I thought he was creative and interesting and provocative as a musician. So I think that I really liked where the sound was heading. I just was bummed that people in Seattle, the musicians didn't think it was worth their time.
What do they know? It blew up
a lot.
So it blew up. Far behind. I mean, when that blew up, how was that sudden shift in attention? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the popularity that you achieved?
Shit, yeah. I mean, but it also scared the hell out of me. I knew that I knew that we would be chasing that drug for the rest of our lives. You know, I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
When you're a kid and you've got Kiss posters on your wall, and that's all you want to do is, you know, hear that audience when you kick a song in, and you want that for the rest of your life when it happens. You know that at some point it's going to wane. You know, it's going to roll off. There's a term for it's a really beautiful word for it. Man, I'll remember it probably when this podcast is over. But
email me afterwards. I can always put it in the notes.
Yeah, it's just I'll tell you, because it really is about knowing that you will never achieve that feeling again. You'll always be chasing it. And that was, you know, and also with all the great success came great distractions and turmoil and money and drugs and alcohol and you know, hence the second record we made, which was, you know, not great, Lucy, in my opinion, because we had two members of the band that were completely fucked up, and we shouldn't have made that record, you know, and that's because of the great success. But
yeah, I was going to ask you about Lucy, how it was a different experience, but you've just alluded to it. It wasn't great.
It was hard, man. You know, I did a lot of those songs on that record by myself, even though we did rehearse for it and pre-production and stuff. We wrote for almost a year for that record. It just all fell apart in the studio. You know, and I would love to revisit that album and just kind of do the songs the way that they were initially written, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah, that's a shame. I mean, feel free to tell us as little or as much as you like. But did you get involved in the drug thing at the time, or do you manage to escape?
I quit doing drugs when I was 18. When I saw Midnight Oil, I was high. I went to see Midnight Oil and I was on MDA, or what you guys call Molly now.
Yeah,
and I was so overwhelmed by Peter Garrett's performance. It literally scared the shit out of me. I was like, if I'm going to do this, I can't do drugs. And I quit the next day on my 18th birthday. I was like, that's it. I avoided it. I never really liked coke. I always liked hallucinogens. I love mushrooms. I still take mushrooms and I still smoke weed. But in my opinion, is if it comes out of the ground in the form that you're supposed to use it, then it's okay.
Yeah.
If you're creating it, if you're creating it chemically, that's not a good thing. So that's why we all take vitamins, and that's why people that microdose with mushrooms are productive, very productive in society. You know,
I think that's a good motto to live by. That's all right, isn't it? But
everybody do natural drugs.
Yeah, that's fine. But obviously, so some of the other bands weren't so lucky. They fell down the pitfalls of fame, I guess. Yeah,
sadly,
it does happen. Yeah, I think it happens in most bands. There's always some people that are better at dealing.
And the unfortunate thing is, the unfortunate thing is like even when they stop, the damage is done. You know, case in point, Mark Lanigan, you know, from Screaming Trees.
Yeah.
Heartbroken that I never got to meet Mark because I was always a huge fan. I love his books. I love his voice.
Great guy.
I emulate him really well in the studio when I'm doing warm-ups. I always kind of do them torn like a dollar bill. You know, like I love doing that because it gets my voice in a place, but it also makes me think about him and the way that he wrote songs. And then, you know, his passing had everything to do with the drugs that had, you know, severely damaged his body. And, you know, that's one of the things that I think probably keeps me away from kind of doing those kinds of dangerous drugs.
Yeah,
but I also wasn't. I didn't have the upbringing that Mark had either. You know, so I don't blame him for doing what he did. He was running away from a lot of shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you say though. It's not even when you start. It's like the tragic story of Chris Cornell as well, right? Like he wasn't. It's just it follows you around, doesn't it? That's the problem. Don't do it, kids.
Well, in Chris's case, you know, I mean, you know, I never saw Chris do drugs. I know that he did them,
No.
but I think that he struggled with depression his whole life. His whole family does. His brother Peter is married to my manager, and Pete and I talk about it all the time, because he struggles with it. His sisters struggle with it. His mother, their father was an alcoholic, abusive father.
Yeah.
And, and Chris was such a tortured soul. You cannot write those songs and not, and an outside person not look in and go, man, this person is got some darkness. I mean, Black Hole Sun is a perfect example of the darkness of Chris Cornell. And then for him to go out and be so vulnerable to do these acoustic sets with these songs and his cover songs, and he was he was an incredible talent and such an enormous loss for the musical community, and for everyone. And I can only I'm imagining him on that stage for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and just thinking how proud he would have been, and he must have been heartbroken when Pearl Jam got in there before him. But at the same time, really, generous with his, opinion of them being inducted before Soundgarden. I mean, I don't know. I would have been like, fuck that, but
I think a lot
he
of
didn't do
people
that.
Yeah,
he was gracious, and I imagine him on that stage giving his speech, thinking about what he would have said, and it would have been very prolific and very profound.
It would for sure. So back to Candlebox. So how did you navigate the pressures and the expectations that gives so major label success? It changes your whole what's it
ego
and the band. It just changes the dynamics of the band, right? Just having major label success. How did you guys navigate it, or not?
I don't think we did. I got to be honest with you. I think we hung on by a thread for a long time. I'm surprised we made it as a band to Happy Pills.
Right.
And of course we didn't. Scott left the band right after Lucy. So he couldn't even handle it. There was just so much kind of negative energy and unhappiness in the band, and those outside influences that are constantly in your ear telling you, you're better than that person, you should go and do your own thing. And I mean, I was approached by another label to do a solo record after Lucy, and I had put a band together, and I went to the guys and said, hey, I think we need to take a break and everybody needs to recuperate. I'm going to go and do this side project. And all three of those guys were like, fuck you. No, you're not. You can't do that. It was a lot of negative. So I think we hung on by a thread. And of course, we broke up the band in 2000 to kind of get out of the deal with Maverick, and that backfired. And Scott had left the band. Barty then left the band. Pete and I broke up the band to get out of the deal. It backfired. Pete and I we owned the name and the brand from 2000 until 2006. It was a difficult time for us. When we put the band back together, there was a lot of healing that had happened. There was a lot of conversation that needed to take place. But that didn't last very long either. Barty again bounced out in 2007. Scott kind of hung on with us till 2015. And then Pete left in 2015 as well. And, it just, there was still a lot of underlying pain and frustration that hadn't been dealt with. And Pete has changed a lot. And that's why he's back now. He's really done his soul searching, and he's accepted his role in his, in his heartbreak. And I think that's a difficult thing for people to do. Certainly for musicians to look in the mirror and say, I'm responsible for my own actions, and this is on me. It's really easy to blame other people. And
it's a hard one.
He did that for a long time.
I think a lot of people they become better people as they get older, right? So when you're all young and in a band, you're probably not the best versions of yourself anyway, So just chuck young people in the melting pot with all this money and drugs and fame and whatever, it's not going to have a good outcome.
Liam and Noel.
Exactly.
I mean, the Gallagher brothers. I mean, and then all of a sudden, you know what? Fuck it. Let's put it aside so we can make $1 billion. And I think that, you know, as much as you want to say that you hate your bandmate, you know, you don't. It's or KK Downing with, you know, Judas Priest. I mean, he gets on stage with them at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but he's still suing them. This is you know, it's just petty.
Mental,
and so maybe you don't really get better in your old age. You just kind of you realize that the financial benefits of putting things back together far outweigh the negative of disliking the person that you're hanging out with, if you will.
Yeah, maybe you just hide it better, right?
Yeah. Behind a glass of whiskey.
Yeah. So obviously those albums, they led to huge success and some pretty major touring, right? Metallica, Offspring, Radio. You toured with Radiohead as well, didn't you? Back in
No, we actually Radiohead opened for Candlebox in 1993.
Right, there you go. They've
which is
toured
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
No, they didn't tour with us. They just opened for us in Seattle once.
Okay.
We had we did the Rush tour, Metallica. We took the Flaming Lips out. They opened for us in the fall of '94. We toured with Aerosmith. We've toured with Triple Fast Action, a great band out of Chicago. Again, that came out of that kind of pop grunge movement that was going on in Chicago. Which is another. Triple Fast Action is one of my favorite bands. But yeah, we've had some amazing tours over the years. But I think the one that taught us the most was Rush. Well, no, Living Colour, because we opened for Living Colour in the fall of '93. And they were great guys to us. They taught us a lot about responsibility, musical responsibility to the fans, to the audience, and you know, playing to the audience, but also remaining true to yourself and true to your talent. And that has a lot to do with the Living Colour fellas. We love them dearly. I keep in touch with Corey. I see him all the time, and then of course going out with Rush in the spring of '94 was a real game changer for us.
Yeah, amazing. That must have been a phenomenal tour, right?
It was unbelievable, and I actually played 18 holes of golf with Neil Peart at the end of tour party. So being a drummer, it was amazing for me to sit with him and chew his ear, you know, off of you know, Permanent Waves and 2112 and all these kind of drum movements. Being a drummer, I was just like, look, I'm fascinated. He's like, I didn't know you were a drummer. It was really interesting.
Yeah. It's like pinch yourself sort of moment, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I told him the first song I wanted to learn how to play on drums was Tom Sawyer.
Yeah. Amazing. You played Woodstock, didn't you? The '94 version. How was that?
It was incredible. Again, another one of those insane moments. You know, we were the headliner, co-headliner on the Friday night with the Violent Femmes. The band before us was Collective Soul, and before them was Live.
Yeah,
and it was cool because the stage rotated, so you weren't allowed to go out and look at the audience if you were one of the bands. There was no room on the side of the stage. They didn't want the bands to do that.
Okay.
They wanted the kind of shock and awe of the stage turning and you're standing in front of 300,000 people.
Right.
You know, and nowadays in South America and Europe and stuff, that's the norm. But again, you know, those large festivals that Europe and South America have been throwing since the 70s, you know, I think Rod Stewart holds the world record of 3.5 million people in Rio.
Yeah, mental. Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. So 300,000 people to me is like a lot, you know, but I can't imagine what 3.5 looks like.
That's mental, right? Yeah. 300,000, that's still pretty good, right? That's a fair old crowd.
Listen, man, it's like looking out at the ocean and not seeing the horizon. You know, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I bet. Looking back now, sort of, how's your sort of songwriting process changed from the early days to sort of, well, now you're still writing now, right? So
yeah, now it's Pete and I. It's been well, the last 3 records I wrote without Pete. So that was basically, I sit around a lot on drums and guitar and kind of bounced ideas off my guys. Then we'll do some demos and we'll do some edits and kind of figure out if we like the songs. But most of the time, what we really like to do is just get them in working order, then go into the studio and really, when we're making a record, figure them out. That's when the recipe kind of all comes together and we figure out it's a quarter teaspoon of this, a half a
Yeah.
teaspoon of that, that sort of thing kind of happens in the studio for us. And then all the lyrics are written basically in the studio with the melody in mind, because I like the song to really tell me in the studio what it wants from me. I have ideas for songs that lyrically I've hashed out, and I'll get kind of the foundation going. But in the studio, though, that'll be like one verse, and then I'll build off of that as we're recording. Like the song "Nothing Left to Lose," which is off the Wolves album. That was basically, I was emulating Lemmy from Motorhead, and knowing that I wanted the song to be about a man who gave zero fucks and would go to the ends of the earth for the person that he loves, or the planet that he loves, or the world that he loves. And so I kind of emulated Lemmy. It just, I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't have the lyrics. And then when I tracked the song, the lyrics like that.
That's great. I love that.
Nah.
Is there like an album or an era in the band's history that you sort of think is maybe a bit underappreciated or misunderstood? Is there a
Yeah.
period of time?
Yeah. 2008 till now.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
So the more recent
new.
stuff.
It's funny you say misunderstood, because that's basically, this record we're writing is lyrically, conceptually called Misunderstood.
Okay.
And so
There you
every
go.
song will be about kind of, not me personally, but not every song. I mean, there will be one in there, obviously, it's about my misunderstandings, or being misunderstood as I am, but about the world. And, I like to write in, I'm not a storyteller writer. I'm not a country writer. I'm not Americana. I'm not going to, I'm not going to write you Born to Run, or, Born in the USA. That's just not in me. I write songs like Cover Me. I write songs like You. I write songs like Far Behind. I write songs like Nothing Left to Lose and The Bridge. And, so I think that from 2008 till now, if that audience that bought that first record heard our last 5 albums, I think they would go, okay, that's the fucking Candlebox I fell in love with. But they don't know they exist, because they only hear Far Behind. That's the song on their playlist. And that 7 million audience that bought our first record, we only have probably 400,000 of those listeners still, and that's okay. I mean, that's nothing wrong with
still
that, but
pretty good.
it's pretty. I mean, I think our Spotify numbers are 2.2 million a month or something, which is pretty great. But it's certainly not a billion, like Shinedown or, anything like that. But it's, we're still here, and people are still, listening to the records, and we'll see what happens in the spring tour. We've already sold out 3 of the shows. Hopefully the rest of them sell out. But we're here.
So in that respect, is it difficult to play the early stuff live? Do you get more enjoyment out of playing the new stuff, or do you still get a buzz out of when you're Far Behind kicks off?
I love all those songs. I mean, my favorite song is You. That's my favorite Candlebox song. And I love singing that live. We actually end the set with it, because I think it's a great way to say goodnight to the people. But no, I don't. The only songs I have a difficult time doing live are songs off of Lucy. I just don't love the record. I love Simple Lessons. We do that. I love, Pete wants to do Butterfly Reprise on the next tour, which is a really, great closer for that record.
Yeah.
I think that's the only song on Lucy that is really, really Candlebox. It's such a, hold on, Jimmy, there's an airplane flying overhead. I don't know if you can hear that. It sounds like it.
A little bit.
No, leave it. I love that from Led Zeppelin. But yeah, it's that song, I think Butterfly Reprise is just such a special song for us. So I'm really looking forward to doing that one live. I know we're talking about doing Blinders off of Happy Pills. We're talking about doing How Does It Feel off of Into the Sun, Into the Sun off of Into the Sun. So yeah, I mean that'll be, enjoyable. But it's just there's certain songs off that Lucy record I'm just like, man, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do. We went and did the 25th anniversary of that record in Seattle, and I was so not looking forward to it because I just don't like that record.
Man, yeah, you sound from this interview, yeah, you sound like that. That record's not not the one.
It is not the one for me.
But it's good that you can be honest about it, though. You know.
Well, you gotta be. I mean, you gotta be honest with it. Yeah.
Is it the songs or just the period of time that you don't like, or a bit about
songs? I think they're great songs on there, but they're just not done right. They did not come out the way we had worked them in pre-production. They just didn't work.
Was that just because of the dynamics of the band at the time?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I came down to LA. I flew down while we were recording. The guys didn't even know over the weekend, and I sat with Freddie and Guy here in LA on a Saturday afternoon, and I said, "Look, man, you got to stop this record. You've got to call up and say, hey, fellas, let's take a break."
Got to that point.
And they're like, "Well, yeah, what are you talking about? The roughs sound great." I'm like, "Those aren't the roughs. Those are the fucking pre-production versions of the songs, and this is not what we're doing." And excuse me. So it got really bad. Yeah, but. Yeah, we were coming off 4 million records sold, So they knew that Alanis was coming out, and they had just signed signed the Deftones, and their record was coming out, and they knew that Alanis's record was coming out, because they had just signed her. Yeah. So they wanted, that platform to continue, and that's why they made us finish the record. And in the documentary that we have coming out, hopefully next year, we're still in clearance, fucking bullshit land. Guy Osiri, our A&R guy, even says, he's like, I really let the band down. I should have been there during Lucy. I should have been paying attention. They knew it as well. But we were their first band, and we had great success, and they wanted that to continue for us. Freddie, I think, could have probably been more vocal about it because he'd already seen the ups and downs working, obviously, with Michael Jackson and Madonna and Lionel Richie. He knew that the pressures sometimes can be a negative for artists. But, we lesson learned.
Yeah, that's it. It's just one of those, isn't it? So is it right? I read this before the interview. Did you do like a tour of US Army bases in like 2010? Is that right?
Yeah, we did them twice. We did Iraq and Basra, Baghdad, Kyrgyzstan, Abu Dhabi. Yeah, I mean, my father was a World War II veteran. My dad was born in 1922. So for me, it was an honor. We didn't do it as a USO tour. We did it under some other touring company, but it was a great experience for me, and a welcome way to or a great way for me to.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to do, right?
To get back to that, these incredibly gracious people that put their lives on the line for not only Americans but the rest of the world. Maybe for the wrong reasons sometimes.
That's
political
not their decision. That's not their decision, though. That's the thing, isn't it?
No.
Real honor to do those sort of things. Yeah. I just saw it. I thought, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Long Goodbye tour and album. Did you plan to end it all after that tour, or
I did?
Was that the plan?
Yeah, I was.
That was going to be it. You were done.
It was. We were putting out the record, and we were going out with Three Doors Down, and I really wanted to focus on my family and my relationship with my wife and son more, and and I was also releasing this bourbon, and I wanted to focus on it.
Yeah.
And I just kind of felt like I was done with this music business.
Yeah.
And then the minute you say that, your value becomes, tenfold. And then I was asked to go out with Bush. And of course, Gavin and I have been friends since the 90s. And I was like, I can't pass up on that. And it was touring with Jerry Cantrell.
That's right.
And then it kind of all kickstarted again. And my wife's like, look, you're not done with this. And then Pete's like, hey man, I'd like to come back. And so yes, and it's now, we're calling we can't quit you, babe tour.
Right. I was going to say, yeah, you kind
Yeah.
of sort of dug yourself a bit of a hole there with the
Yeah.
long goodbye tour.
Well, I think maybe, I think it might have been, there was a collective
You
decision.
can just keep it going forever. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, fucking Rainbow said they were retiring. So did The Who,
Exactly.
Kiss,
Yeah, a lot of
everyone's
bands
quit.
did.
Yeah.
So it's not the last Candlebox album then, or we can expect more. That's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
Yeah, working
When
on
you
one
look,
now.
that's great. When you look back at Candlebox's impact, what are you most proud about? What you've done?
I think we've stayed the course. We've never tried to sound like anybody that
Yeah.
was having hit records. We've never
Yeah.
tried. We've never been fake. We've never been anything but ourselves. And I think that that's kind of why we still make great records, and we still get asked to do tours with great bands. We still get asked to do festivals because we are that band that kind of never fell for the game or never played the game. We just
Yeah.
stuck to our um we stuck to our straight and narrow. This is our path, and we yeah, I think that's probably it. I mean,
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
we're just
You,
a solid fucking rock and roll band, and we never strayed from that.
yeah. You said at the start of the interview, when you blew up, you were scared there was at some point it would definitely all sort of stop.
Mm.
I guess it's still rolling along. Maybe not in the same way, but it's still rolling along.
No, yeah, I mean it is, and that's kind of why I have to laugh at myself because how the fuck did I think I was going to quit this? I mean it's been my life for 35 years, and it's the life that I wanted when I was 8 years old. And um, is it do I get the same thrill as I did back in the 90s when when the band was blowing up? Absolutely. There's nothing like stepping out on stage.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get nervous before every show.
Yeah.
It's just I know that this band is special to a lot of people, and it's just as special to us. And I think that that's why. And the guys that I have now, Adam, BJ, and Island that play with Pete and I, they make it that much more fun because they're just brilliant musicians. But more importantly, they're great friends. I mean, we're a band of brothers, and I regardless of whether it's 50,000 people a night or 500, it's the same emotion for me. I really, really love it, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. The long goodbye tour has got to keep going.
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear you say that. Like you still get the same buzz now as you did back in the early days. Because I always wonder if it gets a little bit not blasé, but sort of another one of these sort of thing. But,
well, listen, that happens. There are the nights where you're like,
yeah. But that's like anything, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's we're having chicken soup again. I mean, it's like like that sort of thing. I mean, you all have that, but the most difficult thing really is, and I think that it's interesting now that we're seeing all these kinds of posts from bands that are taking mental breaks for themselves. We weren't allowed that. You couldn't do that.
They weren't very nice to in the 90s, were they? The old record labels and stuff.
No, and of course, I mean, we never really knew what that was. I mean, I tell a story where it's 5 a.m. and we're in a van, and we're driving through Montana, and I wake up and the sun's just kind of coming up, and the sky's pink, the mountains are pink, and I'm listening to Space Boy by the Smashing Pumpkins, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I just want to go home. I just want to go home. What is wrong? What is wrong with me? I was having that mental break, and that's I didn't know what that was at the time. I mean, you fight through it, and that's where alcohol and drugs kind of take over when you're touring. Because it's the one thing that helps you balance that emotional depths and that emotional kind of feeling of, what does this all mean? Where is it going? Why do I feel, even in the greatest moment of my life, that I don't want to be here?
Yeah, no, that's really well put. Yeah, you can see why people fall down that trap. Yeah. All right, well, I've kept you a really long time. We asked all of our guests, if you could have been in any other band in the 90s, who would it have been and why?
Oh, in the 90s?
Yeah.
Fucking Guns N' Roses.
Oh, nice, man. We didn't talk about Guns N' Roses. I love Guns N' Roses.
Oh, I fucking love Guns N' Roses.
They went into the 90s, so they're fine.
Yeah, I first saw them in 80, I think it was 88 when they came to Seattle and they were opening for the Cult. It was fucking, I'm like, this band is everything. It was so punk rock. Couldn't take my eyes off of Izzy and the way he was playing guitar. I mean, Slash and Axl were cool, and I was like, but Izzy was like Joe Strummer. Yeah, he had that kind of fuck you, cigarette in the mouth, punk rock swagger, zero fucks given, wearing his Chuck Taylors and his, Levi 501s and a cool vest, and just a bad motherfucker. And I would have loved to have been in Guns N' Roses. When Steven Adler got kicked out, I would have loved to have been their drummer. I would have grown my hair long and sat back there and played all those fucking songs, because Rocket Queen is still my favorite drum beat of all time when it comes to rock and roll. That groove is just sick, and nobody plays it like Steven Adler.
That's a great answer. Guns N' Roses, we went to see them on the Use Your Illusion tour.
Sick.
With
Matt?
Was massive, but and it was who was supporting? Soundgarden and Faith No More supported. So it was a good gig. Good gig.
Yeah.
But I'd love to have seen some of their early shows in the late 80s. Must have been insane.
Well, when you watch the Paradise City video, that's them. I believe they're opening for was it Aerosmith on that tour?
Okay.
They were opening for Aerosmith on that tour, and that's when Axl throws the white leather jacket on and stuff. I mean, that's kind of the closest thing, and that was 1990, I believe. That's kind of the closest thing to what I saw, but I saw it on a tiny little stage in Seattle called the Moore Theater. But if you can imagine the gravity of that show on a fucking 40 by 60 foot stage.
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane. What the fuck am I watching?
Man. That's great. All right. Well, I'm going to stop recording, but don't jump away just yet. But thanks so much for coming on and giving us your time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. My pleasure.
All right. There we go. Kevin from Candlebox. Did you enjoy that, both of you? Because, like I say, it's a real rare solo outing.
Stellar work on the interview front, man. It's brilliant.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, you really I
enjoyed it. I did enjoy it.
You didn't.
I like the guy.
No, you didn't. It was great.
No, you didn't. I got one little bone to pick.
You did what most interviewers... Oh, go on. Pick the bone. You're always picking my bones. Pick his bone.
Pick the bone.
You just let him get away with the taxes comment and just agreed with him.
Oh, what? I didn't really know what to say. It caught me off guard.
No,
what was that? What's that about?
Well,
he commented at how
the taxes
are killing us in the UK.
Oh, right.
They're not, are they, compared to America?
Right, well, they're not at all. No.
But I should have brought him up on that. Good bone to pick.
Good bone to pick. No, it's great. You did what most interviewers don't, which you listened and reacted, and that's all you need to do, man. It was great. It's great.
It's weird, isn't it, when you watch some interviews now and you just think, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They just see they've obviously got their questions and they just want to get them all in before the end of the interview, regardless of if they're telling a good story or not. Whereas we're all about the stories, isn't it?
It's surprisingly difficult, isn't it, to do an interview? Like, really difficult.
Yes, it really is. Yeah.
I can't do your research for a start. Then you've just got to let them.
Why do you think you can't, Dave? Of course you can. You're an amiable chap.
I can't listen. You got to listen, and you both do that well. I just can't listen when I'm a bit stressed.
You're
I
just
just
not
wouldn't
interested in other
listen to
people.
anything they're saying.
Yeah.
Ear infection.
Because you're so focused on getting it right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different because you are sort of you've got to be aware of the next question as well, but you've still got to sort of be engaged in it. There is a bit of an art to it. That's why Luke's really good at it. But
No, yeah, it's great, man. It's great.
no, I enjoyed it.
I'm sure he did too. Dave, did you enjoy the money talk at the beginning?
No, what was that? What was the money
He
bit?
gave details. He said
Go on,
He
remind
gave
me.
some nuts. He said some nuts figures.
He said it costs him $2,200 a day to tour.
Imagine. No, he said
Oh, right.
$22,000.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. $2,200 for the year. $22,000 a day to tour.
That's
Yeah, that's
insane.
what it costs. That's insane. Right,
Fuck,
so you've
I
got to
don't think
recoup it
Census
from
things
ticket
for
sales
paying
and merch. No.
When Census
No,
things
I mean,
got in that
yeah, they're a
van,
big. That's a different sort of tour. But these, if you're doing like massive, they're still playing stadiums in America.
I guess
and stuff.
so.
They're big. It's a big tour, but yeah, it's still, it doesn't add up, does it? It doesn't add up.
No. And it was interesting, he was saying, and then people, because of social media, people can reach out directly and say, why aren't you coming to my town and blah, 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 blah. No, for fuck's sake,
That's what I've put. I've put there's a lot more pressure on younger bands to be present on social media. It's not enough just to be sort of in a band. You've got to do all that other stuff as well.
People expect
A bit
this
like
direct
actors,
link,
aren't
right?
they now? Is that because I don't really sort of read up on the more underground scenes like you do. Is it the same on that? Are they all on social media and stuff?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And they're a bit more there, but then they were accessible anyway.
Right, yeah. Because they got a small fan
whether
base.
people were sending in postcards in their CD2 of whatever the single they put out or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, do you know what? I was watching Bullseye today when I was in the gym.
The new one?
No, it was like from 92 or something. And it was interesting, like at the start, Jim always does like a little joke and that.
Yeah,
or
he does a
sometimes
little
Tony
racist,
comes and joins him.
misogynist
He does a bit of misogyny to start off the show. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And but today's one, he was serious. So basically, people have been writing in to the show to accuse the contestants of being greedy. So if they'd already won like quite a lot of money, they'd won a shitload of the Bullies prize board, and then they were still gambling. And Jim was like, no. These people are not greedy. It's a chance of a lifetime. They're giving you 25 minutes entertainment. Now, greedy is what this is what happened back in the day, right?
They won like a fucking
Cutlery
shit candle holder and a CD player.
But then it just shows that this shit had always existed, right? But now people can just tell these people directly. Before they had to write into fucking Thames Television or whatever.
Yeah.
And
that's the way.
But Jim defended him, man. Yeah, but it was like a deadly serious start to the show. It was interesting. He's like,
Luke, you got to stop watching that. You got to stop watching that.
No.
It's one thing watching.
It's the perfect.
It's one thing watching an episode
link.
for nostalgia. It's another thing watching it every day you go to the gym.
Only when I go running. I don't go running every time on the running machine.
I think it's
what
brilliant.
else are you going to do on a running machine?
I mean, they got a new Bullseye, but it doesn't work because the whole point of the whole reason you watch the old ones is because of all the shit prizes and stuff.
Yeah,
isn't it? And the shit darts players. No, everyone was shit on it. Even the good ones were shit.
Yeah, I mean, the professional ones when they chose charity.
They could have practiced before going on it.
But the nerves, man. They were like he mentioned today like 12 million viewers because he was like, you got 12 million people
massive.
Watching. This is huge, right? It was a huge thing.
Yeah, it's big.
You'd be nervous,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Anyway, back to the interview.
And he was talking about the cost of t-shirts and stuff. So you should probably go and buy one of ours to help keep our podcast going because that's the way it works.
Done.
Got to pass it down onto the consumer because band t-shirts aren't cheap, but they can't be because bands are paying a lot of money to get them made. That's the point, isn't it? They're not cheap to.
And if no fuckers buying their records, it's the only way to get money, right? So
it's difficult not to sort of end up charging loads of money, is it? That's the thing. It's a trickle down thing, isn't it?
I
don't
thought
know.
his
Yeah.
kind of him establishing his punk credentials was interesting. I mean, seems genuine and authentic to me, man.
Yeah. Well, you probably knew more than I did, but yeah.
Oh man, love to hear him. I love to hear Bam Bam, man. That's an underground cut to shout out, man. They were one of the first. They had like this black female singer making like punk rock in the early to mid '80s, man. Great, really cool band.
Yeah.
Great to hear that shouted out, man.
If your only sort of experience of Candlebox is far behind, it does that song doesn't really represent what they were doing at all, does it? It's quite out there on its own. Oh yeah, I definitely recommend going and have a re-listen to. I had to listen to some of their newer albums over the week as well. And they're good, man. They're good. I don't know
what are they like.
You'd necessarily like it, Luke, but I think Dave would like it. Well, arena rock, isn't it? It's just they're just good songs. The production on the albums was really good. And the playing's brilliant. I just think they're really good. So definitely go and have a listen, I would say. So am I right from that? Well, I've heard it on a few. So if you're under 21, you can't play in any you can't play in bars in America.
No, this is why you got the X on the hand for the straight edge kids started, right? Yeah, so they started doing these underage shows. So because most of the kids in the hardcore bands were under 18, they were like, Minor Threat were like 14, 15 when they started the Teen Idols, but they couldn't play anywhere. So they started hiring halls and stuff, and they said, okay, if we put like an X on our hand, this shows we're not trying to be 21. We're not pretending we're 21. So don't sell us any alcohol, but allow us in. And they were, okay, this can work. And now it's become like a symbol of the straight edge scene.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, I guess it's the same over. I think it is the same here. I think if you're in a band and you're under 18, you can't play in bars.
No, that can't be right.
If you're not drinking, it's okay, I think.
My
can't be
daughter
right.
works
If you're not
in a
drinking,
pub.
it's fine, I'm sure.
Well, it shouldn't be, right? Should it? That means
and she's only 12.
I mean, because there's a big difference between 18 and 21 as well, isn't it? Most bands will have formed by the time they're 21. Well, a lot of them will.
Yeah, that's true.
It sort of really puts you at a massive disadvantage. I don't know. I really liked his chat about the whole Seattle scene. That shoe store, man. It reminded me a bit of where Ross worked in that grocer's.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my advice. If you're trying to make it in a band, find a shop near famous rock stars and just get a job there.
Yeah. Well, he said that Susan Silver was the manager in that shoe shop, and she was managing all those bands. She married Chris Cornell. She was married to Chris Cornell as well. But yeah,
it sounded great, that shoe shop.
But again, you don't just by accident get that job in that shoe shop. He must have really, gone into that and been part of the scene.
Yeah,
he was only 16, right?
But yeah, it sounds like that was the place to be, sort of, if you wanted to meet all those sort of characters. I see them just wandering in, like Lane Staley wandering in, getting some shoes and stuff.
Getting some Clarks to start the new school year.
Don't think it's that side of the shoe shop.
I'm pretty sure it was. Oh man, that was responsible for my first ever record. Clark's shoes.
Was it?
I've met a couple of people in later life that had the same experience. In like in the summer of like 19
combust. Oh no.
In like the summer of 1980, it must be like 1984, something like that. Clark's had like this special promotion on. If you bought a pair of shoes, you could choose any record from the top 10.
Okay, you've made this up.
I didn't make it up at all. So you do that, and you just gave you like a sheet, and you ticked which one you wanted, and then a couple of weeks later, the record arrived in the post. So I got Casey and the Sunshine Band, Give It Up. Great fucking song. Good my brother Sam got Freeze, AEIOU, which is a fucking great fucking electro pop song, right? And that's the first record I ever owned, thanks to Clark's shoes.
I used to like the when they measured your feet.
Yeah.
When she
came
over.
That was high technology, wasn't it?
Yeah, like
that was like our version of like AI.
Don't get that anymore, do you? Because once your feet stop growing, you never get that experience.
No.
It's quite nice.
No. Yeah.
To know you've gone up a size or whatever.
I just like the insane technology. Yeah, it just moved by itself.
Pretty high-tech.
It's incredible.
I know. It blew your mind. That Seattle scene, it did, although I always thought it was very inclusive, but it maybe not. Maybe not so much.
No. Sounds like they
Yeah,
were
maybe it was a
shunned. Well,
bit
they
more
were a
like
bit
Britpop.
behind. Like he said, he was 5 years younger than
Far
everyone else,
behind.
basically. Far behind. Well, not that far behind.
Oh.
No, not that far.
But they were shunned. It's interesting, right? It's interesting to hear.
Yeah, if you listen to their music, it's very sort of Mother Love Bone. I would have thought they would have slide into that scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not grunge.
It's
But
not
Mother
really
Love
grunge,
Bone
no.
weren't really grunge. Well, it depends on what we
No.
don't know what grunge is, do we?
Yeah, how do you define grunge? What's your definition,
I know
Dave?
what it's not. I know what it isn't. It's hard. It's easier to say what it's not than what it is, isn't it?
Go on, him.
What's it not?
Well, Candlebox isn't grunge in my mind. I like it.
That
I do
doesn't
like
explain
it.
anything.
He hasn't got the grunge sound. I mean, to me,
He
grunge
used-
is a sound rather
He used
than
the term.
I know. I kind of
the
know where
scene.
Dave's going. With this.
He said he used the word pop grunge at one point. How do you feel about
Yeah, I
that?
want to hear some pop grunge.
Would you call it pop grunge?
I don't know what grunge is. No one knows what it is, do they?
Pop grunge.
Pop grunge is quite good.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Maybe I would put Pearl Jam down that sort of road as well, though, because they weren't particularly heavy. Pearl Jam, were they?
They were more like a hard rock band, basically,
Yeah.
or a rock band, I guess. Yeah.
So I'd put them more in the sort of Pearl Jam sort of
Yeah.
bit of grunge.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah, they're definitely more on the side of Pearl Jam than like Nirvana, for instance. Yeah.
To me, grunge
But yeah, it
is
sounds
like
like
a
it was a
take
bit,
on punk.
a bit more cutthroat than I thought. Well, for me, it's sort of metal mixed with punk sort of sound.
To me, it's got to have a bit of a lo-fi kind of grungy, like unclear kind of production and all that sound. So
Right.
it means something different to everyone, right? It means something different to everyone. Yeah. Neil, did he ever email you with the word he was trying to think of?
I think he might have done. Hang on, let me have a look.
I'm gonna guess. Is it? I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it swadade? It's like a feeling of longing for, not knowing you never achieved, just a feeling of longing for that kind of first taste of success, which is probably not going to happen again. Yeah, or not success, but the first, anything.
How do you spell swarded? What's that? Never heard of it.
Saudade.
All right, okay. So I've got it here. The word that he was trying to think of is opathian.
Oh, I'm completely wrong. Okay.
I've got the definition of opathian here. It's a rare invented adjective meaning the hollow, often used in online communities to describe a specific type of deep, unexplainable feeling or emptiness, similar to nostalgia but unique in its sense of inner void.
Well, that's a cool fucking word, man. I'm glad he emailed you. That's brilliant.
That's Neil.
Yeah.
That's Neil.
Pretty much.
Opathian. Mate, this is the name of your solo music project, man. This is it.
Right, yeah, that's it. Thanks, Kev. But he said himself that they were never grunge, didn't he? He said that they were mainstream rock. That's what he said. That's why.
So he agrees with me.
That's what he said. Yeah, he talked about Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so he agrees with Dave. Yeah, mainstream rock. I think is probably, but like I don't know, man. Because like I say, if you listen to especially that first album,
it's heavier than you think.
Mother Love Band.
Yeah. The chat about Chris Cornell was really nice, man. I was what he was too modest to tell you is that he, after Chris died, he set up like this organization called Riptide, which basically helps at youth risks that are struggling with like mental health problems.
Oh wow!
Him and Chris Cornell's brother set up.
Yeah, because he spoke about his brother, didn't he?
Set up this organization to help at-risk youth. It was a bit too modest to mention it, but that's really fucking cool, right?
But yeah, it sounds like they were pretty close. We're close with that family, and
yeah.
He didn't like LA.
It must
much,
be such
did
a
he?
weird world to live in. LA.
No.
You seem to hate it.
Didn't speak particularly fondly of it.
I've never been. I couldn't comment.
Not you, him.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying I couldn't comment because I've never been, so I don't know what LA's like.
I've been to LA.
Have you,
Yeah.
Dave? Have you been to LA?
I've been to the airport, but didn't leave it. There's a connection.
Oh, dude,
But I remember when I was there, they
Right.
had
I've never been.
on their front pages was Brighton because I think the pier had burned, and I couldn't believe that they knew what Brighton was and where Brighton
Oh,
was.
right.
That was me.
The pier.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Didn't mean
Fair
to.
play. You were there at the time.
I was just doing a
It all-
genie, and the whole thing just fucking went up, man.
Hot
You're a
rock.
suspect.
Hot rock, wasn't it?
This genie, the
Oh.
fucking box of matches.
You'll always be chasing that initial hit of success. I'd have been a fucking nightmare. Imagine if like I'd had a big hit.
Yeah.
That would be it. Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to
You'd have
handle it.
somehow turned it into a bad
No.
thing.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. That these bands that have like huge hits and then sort of just disappear into normal life. I don't know how they do it. I just don't know how they do it.
Well, he hasn't done that, right? And they've still got,
he hasn't.
they've still
He
got a
hasn't.
huge
That's what I mean.
following, in comparative
that's what I mean.
terms.
They've kept it going. He's kept it rolling. And I think that's what I'd have had to try to do. But some bands, they just go off and become teachers or whatever, don't they? And they just go into not like civilian life. And I don't know how to do it.
I mean, it was interesting that he just can't give it up. Right. He talked about that. And I read like a big interview like he did before like that farewell tour and stuff. And he was like talking about,
a bold statement to make, isn't it?
And he was talking about it and, I'm going to be doing this. It's going to be tough, but I know this is the right time. And, he just couldn't do it. And I understand that too.
Really. It's like old Tyson Fury who keeps retiring from boxing. He just can't. He can't retire from boxing because that's part of who he is.
But
Ronnie
you don't need to nowadays, I mean, Kevin looked great, right?
Yeah,
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
Why?
You shouldn't have to, should you?
Shouldn't have to. He looks great. He's in good shape. Yeah, why not?
And like I say, that last album, and we've seen this with a lot of the English bands that are releasing new albums. It's some of their best stuff. They're still making great music. So why fucking not? And
he says he still gets a buzz from stepping on the stage and hearing the roar of the crowd.
It's still the same buzz every gig. I mean, that'll keep you going, wouldn't it? I fucking love that. I wish I was a rock star.
You will be, mate. You will be. You will be.
Yeah, of course you will.
No, you won't. No, he won't. Don't get his hopes up. It's not going to be.
But it's nice talking to them anyway.
It is, man. You're living vicariously through the rock stars, man. It's good enough. Yeah,
exactly. But no, he's a really cool guy. And, it's always, when we get the Americans on, it's always a bit more difficult because you have to sort out the time zones and everything. And
he was great. Really open, really honest. Got a really cool, good interview out of him, man. It's great.
If you haven't heard them before at all, you just go and check out all their stuff.
They do have a cleaner sound than a lot of the grunge bands. They do.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing, but they do. Yeah.
Like he said, they're sort of mainstream rock. But if you're into Mother Love Bone and stuff like that, then I think you'll definitely like the first album.
Sure.
That's it for this one. Thanks so much, Kevin, for coming on. If you are watching, then please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel and get involved in the comments. Let us know your favourite Candlefire music, gigs, all that sort of stuff.
Candlefire?
Let me do that again.
It's a great song. No, then I can talk about Dawn of the Replicants. It's one of my favourite Dawn of the Replicants tracks.
It's actually a band that they were a Bournemouth band when Main Street were around. They were really good at
Oh, they were the ones that you claim were successful. Okay. Yeah.
No, that was
the ones that were big in Belgium.
Band. No, that was Air Traffic.
Oh, sorry. All right, go on.
But
Anyway,
Candlefire did release a track on One Little Indian. So they did have a bit of success. But yeah, Candlebox. Sorry. Get involved in the comments. If you're listening, then please do rate and review and share it with your friends. Keep sharing it. That's the best way for people to find the podcast. Go and buy yourself some merch, t-shirts, mugs, all that sort of stuff. If you want to sponsor the podcast, send us an email at stupidandcontagiousPodcast@gmail.com and you can sponsor an episode. If you're a band, Luke will give you a quick review. If you're a merch seller, label, anything like that, get in touch. Let's have a chat. You sponsor the podcast.
If you're new to the podcast, welcome aboard. If you're a Candlebox fan, thanks for joining us. If you're into your kind of 90s American grunge, we've got an interview with Dave Abruzzi from Pearl Jam in the archives to have a listen to. We've got Christopher Thorne from Blind Melon. I think worked with Kevin Martin on a couple of things. I think I read somewhere. I can't remember exactly what. But yeah, we've got an interview with him, if that's your thing. So dig into the archives. I'm sure you'll find some cool stuff. If you are new to Candlebox, as always, I make a playlist. So I'll pick the best tracks from, I guess I'll take a track from most of their albums and put together a playlist for you.
Don't put Lucy on, mate.
I'll put one track from Lucy on. He mentioned one track that he liked. I'll put that one on there.
Yeah, put that one.
And I'll mix it in with loads of the cool punk stuff that he mentioned at the start and some other kind of classic rock stuff that we talked about as well. So have a listen to that on Spotify, dig into that. And yeah, that's it from me.
All right. Well, that's it for this one. Happy New Year to everyone. Join us next week for episode 127 of the Stupid and Contagious podcast. Dave.
See you in a minute.